Welcome, Ang Lee. I think I can speak for everyone in this room when I say it's an honor to be in the presence of the person who made that movie. How does it feel for you to watch it 20 years later?
Exactly 20 years. This is the 20th year anniversary of this movie and 25th year for Project Tiger Hidden Dragon. What's this movie? You see, once I made a movie, something just got out of my system. I don't want to watch them. Also, as I'm getting older, I don't want to feel like Norma Desmond, the character in Sunset Boulevard. I keep watching her old movie and say, "It's new Hollywood trash." Make our face. We don't need to talk. Anyway, but lately I feel like it. And especially, I want to thank you for bringing on this retrospective. One side of me very appreciate that. I was flattered. The other side of me, I felt I'm not done yet.
You better not be done yet.
But I would say this movie making gets so much harder now because it's a film. So I watched it a few times. I feel like crying. It's a very cryable movie. I don't think they let you make this kind of movie anymore, just to me. I don't take the leisure pace, the 20 minutes, nothing happens. They just quietly fall in love, and they don't know why they fall in love, and they spend 20 years chasing back to that feeling and never got it. Like, it's so whimsical. That's Brokeback Mountain to me. I think it's very hard. It make me feel nostalgic, and the sensation of films, and the focus of nothing happened. Like, I can feel all of you breathe together. To me, that's movie sensation. It's beautiful. It made me want to cry. So thank you for putting out this event. It's very special to me.
It's, to me as well, it's pure cinema. And you really do build it up, you know? We get to watch them fall in love. That's so special. And I think you're right that Hollywood has regressed a little bit, you know? and the fact that
you had to tell a story.
Yeah.
This is a time when Hollywood is not that sophisticated yet. They haven't found out like exactly, completely how to choke you. And you have focus feature like James are here. He's writing it. He's on both sides of the table. He's producing it. Let me backtrack to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Halfway shooting that most difficult movie, I was telling myself, if I survive this, I'll stop. I had enough of movie makings. My father been warning me not to go to movies. He never liked me to make movies. He wanted me to teach. So finally, he's right, but I still wanted to make movies. If I can survive this, I feel so ill, so like collapsing. But after that, I said, what do I do? So somebody taught me how to use the acrylic, so I stopped painting. And 7 hours passed, I didn't know. 4 o'clock in the morning, I was still painting. I thought, if I have that energy, I should make another movie. Just around that time, Jen showed me the short story. It's only 30 pages long, of Brokeback Mountain. And I also had the chance to do The Hulk, the biggest movie, still the biggest movie so far I made. And I chose to do The Hulk, so because I was in the mood to pick on like Chinese pulp fiction, American pulp, something pulpy, and get into a nation, a culture, a racist kind of subconsciousness. I was into the hidden dragon, so to speak, or Hulk. In Hulk, that's the violence in America. So I was into that. I made the biggest movie, and I was so exhausted. I was racked. I was ready to retire. I had enough. And I went to see my father in the in Hulk, finally blow up the father image. And he said he liked it. He saw me really dejected. It was a Chinese New Year. I took my #1 son to see him for Chinese New Year. And I said, Dad, finally I get it. I retired. He said, so you're gonna finally teach? I said, no. He said, look, your son, you're 49. That's a good example, not good example for a kid. He said, go ahead, make another movie. It's the first time in our life. He said, go ahead, make a movie. So I thought I gotta get him to make a movie. I was thinking that, and 2 weeks later, he was healthy and he passed away. And I had to make a movie. This is the easiest movie I made. I was half asleep making this movie. I was so exhausted, emotionally drenched. I didn't have a way to process my grief. So I dedicated to my dad at the end of the credit. It was for him. I gotta make a movie. So I told James, if you want me to make that movie, only one condition: leave everybody away from me. Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. Okay. He said, if you keep in a certain range of budget, do whatever you want, just keep everybody away from you, finding only a nice guy to work with you. So okay, that's the deal. I was kind of half asleep. It never happened to me. I started talking about it. Sorry, movie. It's the only movie I made. Half of the days, shooting days, I didn't want to get up and go to work. I was like this. I think I worked just as hard as every movie, it's just that's all the strength I got left. I have no style, no ambition, no nothing. I just want to finish the day. The short story, I don't know why it got to me, because I grew up in Taiwan. Very opposite of gay cowboys in Wyoming. I have nothing to do with them. But I feel we Chinese cultured filmmakers, we just know there's certain things. I think we know Western really well. People don't know. It's actually quite easy for us because it's all about space. There are things people praise about the movie, which I think is really easy, is probably taking a foreign filmmaker and a woman writer to see the obvious. Of course they're okay. There's a nature, there's all the animals, like what else? It's very natural. It just struck me as a great love story, an existential love story. I really like the whimsical part of it, the existential part of it. There's a wine line in the short story saying, all we got is broke. We could have a life together, but all we got is Brokeback. That's existential because nobody knows what Brokeback is. They don't know, but they chased after it for 20 years. So that's, to me, is the best love story. Love, you never get the idea. So I went to the journey. I was making, nobody said it's too slow. And, oh, James did say that. In the first cut, I remember, people are smitten, friends and family. And we all had, right after that, we all ran to the bathroom. So we're lined up by the urinal, and James said, and that was great. It was 3 hankies and 3 hankies and 2 bladders. My goal is 4 hankies and 1 bladder. That's all the direction I got from the pressure from the studio. I think there's so many. Well, I was exhausted. I was processing grief. I barely had the strength to make the movie. But everybody's so good, scarily good. Every actors, the 4 leading, Keith was like the oldest is like 25. Jake was like 23. Emma, Michelle, 23, 24. Anne Hathaway is like 21, I think. They're so young and so incredibly good, scary. and all the supporting parts are good, down to the extras, local casting. Everything's good. The costume is good. It's set, everything's just good. I didn't do much. So I'm still standing here, try to make movies. I was convinced there was a movie god, he loves me. That's why he gave me this movie. It's a tragedy, but it's about love. It's so much nurturing. The crew, the whole environment, Canada, they're shot in Calgary. It was love, nurturing. And when the movie comes out, you feel people are nurtured. I got a little nervous when they hit the movie got successful and they hit the shopping mall. I thought they're gonna lynch me. Gay cowboys, what do I do? It's a movie nobody sees, like small art house movie, but it's so effective. And so it's an incredible experience I had with this movie. I think it's beyond movie making. It's about cinema, cinema God. It's about emotion. I never see it I see it as a love story, not gay cinema or anything. It's a movie for everybody. I was making the movie in the saddest time and most exhausted period of my life. So it's a bless. Watching it give me good feelings. I'm very confused in today's world, like a lot of anger. Sometimes watching that, it gives me strength. It's nurturing. I think we need that. And I beg the industry and the world give us filmmaker time to make movie, to let the chemistry happen, let the detail have time, that you spend time with the characters you care about. And a lot of movies these days, it's effective at television, I think. Plot story, like very busy, shocking values. You don't really spend time on nothingness, on just the characters you care about us. I think that's very important. I got carried off.
No, that's good. I think we were all wrapped. I mean, it is pure cinema. It's so tender, and yeah, nurturing is an interesting word. You do feel enveloped, embraced by this movie almost. It's amazing that the cast was so young. There's all such adults in this movie, And you're right, each performance is a masterclass. I mean, what was it like working with these actors? Obviously, it's heartbreaking to see Heath Ledger and of course think of all the movies he still had to give us. But man, performance is just so solid. It's like. What was it like for you to work with this cast?
First of all, it's a great pleasure. I think the director teach them everything. I would like to think so too, but you have to see what they are. Half of the time is your inspiration, your direction, how you inspire them, give them directions. The other half of the job is how to portray them. See how best camera capture them. They all provide actors that good and still fresh. It breaks your heart. They all come to just begin to get the idea of acting. They're not quite there, just getting it. It's still fresh, still have that virginal innocence to it. Just grasp skills. And shortly before they know they're good or looking good. And that's just beautiful. All of them are like that. So it's a great pleasure working with them. They're all different in their own ways. Heath, for example, is an intense guy, well prepared. He said he's not preparing, but that's bullshit. He prepared really well. And he's conquering and from the fish for 2 months. And 5 days after we wrap him, he fly to Italy to do the Don Juan movie, Casanova, sorry. And then in the press, he said, I gotta relax, I gotta do a comedy. I think it's so unfair to that movie that I just need to laugh. It's very intense. In the same time, he fell in love with Michelle. So they're in a pre-production.
That was on this movie that they got together?
Yeah. Under my watch. But I think he's very methodic. And at the time, when I casted him, I wasn't so sure of cast, to be honest, because he always impressed me as the supporting role. I saw one movie, he's a leading man. He hasn't convinced me he's a great lead man yet. So he needs to carry the movie, so he's a lead man. Jake come here to steal the show, but Heath has to carry the movie. So that was meant to be tested. And one day, remember that Greyhound bus cafe, the diner scene? When he's eating a sorry-ass apple pie, and the ex-boyfriend comes to give him a hard time. I remember watching the dailies. Linda Carlin is an excellent actress. She's so well in the scene. Act her heart out, manage the tears, and everything. And he's hardly do anything. He's there eating apple. He ate like 32 pieces of apple pie that day. That's all he does. When we show the dailies with the crew, and all of them are screaming, "Leave the man alone! Leave the man alone!" That's why I know he's the lead man. The man has it. You work for him. And I don't know if at the time he knew that or not, but he's a sensational. So he has a lot of freedom to do what he wants to do because he's already there. He's super strong. He looked like a cowboy, his disposition, everything. He looked gorgeous on horseback and all that. So I worked along with that. When I casted him, I want something quite the opposite with Jake. So I cannot talk to them the same way because they're different actors. Jake needs a lot of improv, a lot of talk, a lot of... He's just like, that's the target. He'll make the adjustment, tell him little details, technical details. That's all he needs. Jake needs to talk. The girls, I was particularly girls, the two women. People don't understand this movie is. I was watching. I want to say, I'm very embarrassed to say, it's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
I was watching. How did I do that? I didn't do much. It was so good. It was so good because the women are so good. It's not just like, oh, it's a gay love story. No, it's not. It's a movie about everybody, down to the little girl. They're all good, supporting role. And the two girls, they still, at the time, they still have to prove their quality actors, serious actresses. Michelle has a TV series, which just came out. Anne came off, Anne Hathaway came off the Princess Diary. She was a princess. It was funny when I interviewed her. And my casting director told me, this next actress coming to read, she will apologize because she's in a costume. She's in a princess costume. She will apologize. This is her lunch break. They're shooting a princess parade scene. The lunch break, she came in, hilarious. She apologized, like she was dressed like a princess. I said, you're a Texas princess anyway, so it's fine, don't worry. Emma, she's the second actress I met. You just know they're right. And I asked where she is from. She says, oh, I'm Anna. Spot on. They're extremely smart, good actors. Not aware they're in an art film. I'm not aware of it yet. They still have that innocence in their, in my mind, most beautiful stage in their lives. Like just budding. It's such a pleasure to just put the camera. I used to have ambition on camera movement because that's when people notice direction. But for this movie, I just made the day, make sure I secure all the performances, including their looks. Their look is they're just thinking like Michelle when she sees the husband's kissing a man, and in the 60s, the women in the countryside they don't have vocabulary to process what she's experienced. So how do you give her direction for that? And she did it. So she's together with Heath, and then the two guys have a hard time doing the heroic Western kiss. See, so already they just done that scene. They're tired, so they're just giving her eye line. So they're just messing around, pretending kissing. She screamed at them, "Come on, guys! I need it!" Guys are rolling their eyes, just doing it, like for real. And I remember when camera rolled, I saw her on the monitor. It's like, that's not acting. I don't know what hits her, what's in her eyes.
The look is heartbreaking. You hear
Yeah,
people
it's
reacting.
like, yeah, she's strong. You believe it. That's the power of cinema. When somebody really feel it, you can sense it. You can sense what's acting, what's real feelings. So they're that kind of actors. I just feel very blessed. That I was like, how many movies I made? 7, 8, 9 movies, 10 movies. So I was quite experienced. I can give direction if I want to, in any which way. I can work with any style. But I think the most important thing for director working with actor, with talent, they put their heart and image in your hand, is make sure that you capture their spirit. And that's precious. When the camera rolling, you watch their mental state and their spirit. There's something there. You want to make sure the light is right, the camera angle is right, the spirit, the breathing, and you have to sync with their feeling. However they feel, you feel it. So when you talk to them, you're together with them, you're acting them, you live that life along with them. I think that's the best direction. It's not how smart the word is. It's like you sync with their feelings and with the character's feeling, with the happening of the shooting, with the story, with everything. When it clicks, you just know it. And to me, that's the most precious thing. That's why after the movie shooting, the life has passed. It becomes your imagination. Everybody has their feeling. The movie's not mine, so it's out of my system. But the time when I'm working, like in this movie, most of the time, particularly with actors, or when the costume designer, I don't know where she got those little costumes. Everything feels so right. You just feel that Western character come to life. Western genre is a fabricated. Everything's fake. It's like the wuxia genre in Chinese. It's fabricated. It's invented. There's no realism in it. So when you do a realistic Western, it's quite tricky. There's hardly any example for you to watch and say, okay, that's how you do realistic Western. But when everything is so right, it's just living in that world. It's something special. It's very special to me, and I cannot describe how that life is. That's why filmmakers would keep going back to that same height that we experienced. It's like an altered state. This movie has a lot of moments like that for me.